This is problem 8-42 from section 8.1.2. A circle with its center on the line y equals 3x in the first quadrant is tangent to the y-axis. Let's first dive into what that means. So we have a line y equals 3x. So my starting value is at 0. I'm going to go up 3 over 1 and make a point. Let's go 1, 2, 3 again, over again. Here's our next point. Let's go backwards, down 2, 3, over 1. That should be good enough for us. So let's connect that. Hopefully that's pretty good. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so here's our line. That takes care of this part. It has a circle with the center on the line somewhere. Okay, that's important. I know it's going to be a circle. And it is tangent to the y-axis, which means it's touching the y-axis in the first quadrant. So my circle is going to touch the y-axis. So here, let me just, here's kind of a picture of what's going on. Okay, it's supposed to be touching that y-axis right there. And the center is somewhere on the line, and it's a circle in the first quadrant. Alright, so we're going to go with that picture. If the radius is 2, what is the equation of the circle? Well, the general equation of the circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where h and k are my center, and r is the radius. So we know the radius is 2, so that tells me this side, oh, what am I doing? This side, 2 squared, is going to be 4, so I know that so far, but we don't know the h and the k. Alright, so that's what we do know so far for part A. So we need to figure out, okay, its radius is 2, which means it's 2 units sideways from the center. Alright, that's its radius. Its center, it ends right here, and it's got to be 2 units this way. So we need to figure out when x is worth 2, what value of y is it going to be on the line? Alright, because it has to be somewhere on the line. The center is somewhere on the line, so maybe my graph, my circle isn't drawn high enough, or it's not quite big enough. Okay, so if x is worth 2 in my equation y equals 3x, well, for that case, y has to be worth 6. So really, in this case, here is what my circle should be. My radius is 2, here's 2, here's about 2, here's about 2. So here is really, this red circle is for part A. Okay, my radius is 2 in all the directions. The center is on the line, and the center is at 2 and at 6. Remember, we do opposite stuff for circles because they're negative. Both of these things are negatives. Okay, so my equation for part A would be x minus 2 quantity squared plus y minus 6 quantity squared equals 4. 4 I got as my radius squared. Okay, so you have to plug in basically the radius into the line equation to find the y value. So let's try it for B. I know this one's kind of a little bit confusing. So we have the radius is worth 3. So at least I can answer this last part. If you don't know how to find the center, you can at least do this part and get your radius to be, or this equation over here is going to be r squared, so that gives me a 9. So you can at least do that part. Okay. So if I go back to my graph here, I want to do this in a different color. So here's B. Let's do B in green. The radius is 3. So here's a radius that was worth 2. It was 2 away from the y-axis. I need it to be 3 away. So if x is worth 3, what is y going to equal on the line? Okay, so we're finding the spot on the line that is 3 units left, or sorry, to the right of this axis right here. So if I plug in y equals 3x, or x is worth 3 now, I'm going to get y equals 9. So my center of the circle for part B is going to be at 3, 9 is the center of our circle. Okay, it has to be 3 units from the y-axis, and it needs to be on the line as well. So I plug in this value into the line, that will tell me how high up I am. Okay, so now I have my center, so I'm going to do the opposite of these. minus 9. So here's my equation for part B. X minus 3 quantity squared plus y minus 9 quantity squared equals 9. Okay, this is a little bit of a tricky question. I definitely, the homework hub link helped on this problem, and watching this, and you can also ask in class.